Hi, I'm Victoria.
Hi, and I'm Lindsay O'Neill.
We are The Healthy Dish. You can follow me at Victoria's Dish at Instagram.
And I'm at Linz O'Neill on Instagram. And we also have a brand new website, thehealthydish.tv, where you can check out all of our recipes and episodes of The Healthy Dish.
So today we're going to do one fish, two fish, plus one more for good measure.
Yep, and Victoria, before we get started, we always have to have a little cocktail before.
Little spirit. Cheers.
Exactly, cheers.
Okay, so we're going to get started today with some black cod that we picked up on our way here.
That looks beautiful.
It's Cinderella. And I'm going to make a little package in some tin foil, which you can do this on the barbecue or you can do this in the oven. Since we're inside, we're going to do it in the oven. And I'm going to layer this with some fennel, some lemons, and some capers. Very simple. I'm just going to slice up very thinly.
I love fennel. Some people really don't like fennel, but I really love fennel.
It really mellows with the heat, so it's not as
licoricey.
No, it smells really good though.
It's also really good for digestion. So one thing that I love about the combination of fish and fennel, sometimes fish, especially a cod, a black cod, can have a lot of oils, which is really great for your body and your digestive system because it has all of those omega-3 essential vitamins and nutrients. But with the fennel, it helps to ease digestion. It also adds like a nice crunch. And then with the citrus, it has that nice acid that's going to kind of cut through those heavier oils and that savory fennel.
Okay, so you want to cut these nice and thin.
That's beautiful. So look how thin that lemon is. That's beautiful. So that'll help it kind of caramelize, right, with all the juices?
Exactly. And so you could throw this on the barbecue, or again, because we're inside, we're going to put this in the oven.
And you just pop it right in the tin foil?
I'm going to put it in the tin foil. So we're going to make some layers here.
Okay.
With do some lemon in the bottom.
Here, you want to bring it over here? Let's bring it over here so everybody can see your beautiful layering job.
And then we're going to spread out a little bit of fennel.
My favorite. This is super easy, but it's also a great thing
and then
to.
I'm just going to put just a little kiss of olive oil and
pepper.
Layer as we go some seasoning, a little salt, and then a few capers.
So you're kind of making like a bed for it to lay down and
this is
snuggle up.
Salty goodness. Okay. And then
if you're using the capers, do you have to use as much salt or no?
No, you don't.
Okay, that's good to know.
But you want to like make sure you season every layer.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good to know.
So again, we're just going to do
more olive oil.
Just a teeny bit, and this is good for you too. It's good fat. And just a little bit. Nice. You want a lot of pepper actually, because with the saltiness,
gives it a nice.
You want a little kick. In fact, you could even do crushed peppercorns, like the multicolored peppercorns would be good.
Like in a mill.
Yep.
Yum.
Just take them and crack them in the back of, like the back of a pan
a spoon or something. Yeah. A handle.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna put some lemons.
Just kind of beat up on the pepper.
Yeah, exactly. Just smash it, and then again.
Are you going to season it too? On top?
Juice. Yes, always.
Wow.
Some more capers.
This looks so good.
And you're going to see what a nice juice this will make.
So what should I preheat the oven to?
So the oven should be on 400, nice and hot. Okay?
So the same as a grill, right?
And then we're going to put a couple of the fennel fronds on top. These have a lot of flavor. Okay, that nice anise. Okay, just a little bit more.
It's a little bit licoricey, but
pepper. Yeah,
it's not like a black licorice.
Again, it's not like when you eat it raw.
Yeah.
It mellows very nicely, and it's going to caramelize. So you can make a little packet here.
Ooh.
Just not too tight.
Can I get you a dish?
Going to fold it up on the sides. Yes, the dish needs a dish.
Dish needs a
Put it
dish.
right in.
And you do this in a dish in the grill too, on the grill too?
No,
or?
it would go right on if you would seal it up a little tighter to go on the grill because you could flip it over.
Ah.
Yeah.
And then you kind of caramelize it on both sides?
Yep.
Okay, so
we're going to pop that right in the oven. Hopefully.
Hopefully. Okay. Yep. All right.
Alrighty. Okay, so I'm going to clean this up. We're going to save these to garnish with, okay?
Yes.
So this will be saved for another purpose. For later.
Perfect.
Okay.
And this is a pretty inexpensive meal to make too, right? It's just one piece of fish.
Yep, that will serve two people.
Mm-hmm. And then what would
Correct.
you put on the side of the fish?
I would serve that with either a nice greens or a side salad, and
Awesome.
you have a full meal. You'll be all set. Nice and healthy.
There we go. So my dish today, we're gonna make some tuna steaks. And one of the things I love about making tuna is that it almost acts like a meat protein, right? Like a steak, an actual steak.
Yeah.
So you really don't need to cook it to full temperature. You would just sear it on both sides. So we have this handy dandy little grill pan, which I'm gonna get heated. And then on the top of the seared grilled tuna steaks, I'm going to put a blueberry black pepper balsamic sauce that we're gonna make, which is gonna be so delicious. And it's got all of those great umami flavors. It is sweet, savory, salty, sour, and I do need one orange for my sauce. But I'm gonna get these pans heated so that we can get those simmering. But in the meantime, I'm gonna show you a really quick fish appetizer that I love to make. It's so super easy. It will make it seem like you have been slaving away all day cooking this nice little shrimp salad that I got at Costco. So I bought it at Costco. You can get lobster salad from your local fish market. You can get shrimp salad. And what I have here is just, you guys know endive. Endive is a really kind of crunchy, very nutritious
It's
vegetable.
a great vessel for all kinds of appetizers.
Totally. You could do it with chicken salad if you're not a fish person, but if you're not a fish person, you should probably turn off this episode. We're making all these fish dishes. So I'm just gonna literally put, do you have any more capers I can borrow?
Yes.
Okay. So here's just a quick little boat of shrimp salad and capers, and it's super pretty. And if you wanted to make it even prettier, you could put some of those like fennel greens on top, which would be really pretty with it too.
Or
But this
parsley
was pre-made. I mean, you can
tarragon.
make this fairly easily too. You can get frozen shrimp, you can get fresh shrimp, and you just kind of like steam it up until it's nice and pink. And then I think it's just mayo and probably celery seeds, salt, pepper, and then there's chopped up celery and a little bit of chives on there too, in there too. But look how pretty that is. And if we put a couple little capers, oh my gosh. So people will come to your house or to your backyard during COVID, and they'll be able to just like pick these suckers up and just take a nice little bite. It'll be crunchy. It might be a little bit messy, so I would put it next to the napkins.
You could even, if these
For
were
sure.
like an off size, you could chop these up.
You could chop
if
them
you
up a
wanted
little
to,
bit more.
yeah.
We were trying not to get our beautiful dresses dirty today. But yeah, it's just it's a super quick, pretty appetizer that you can make. And so I'm gonna get my sauce started for the tuna. I'm just gonna rinse my hands. And so Vicki, I actually don't like to eat too much tuna.
You have to be careful.
Because you have to be careful of the mercury content. I've had several friends who have had mercury poisoning, and it's just not fun. So if you're gonna have a high mercury fish, which are typically the swordfishes, the tunas of the world, even the, what is it, the mako shark, which is really good. A lot of people really like that, especially out here in eastern Long Island. A lot of the fish is caught right here in the ocean, and the larger fish typically have the higher mercury content. But then also you want to be careful of eating too much shellfish and bottom feeding fish because there is a good amount of bacteria. So you want to make sure you have the healthy aspects of what you're eating in harmony with some of the more toxic heavy metals that are in some food, especially fish. All right, so in my pan, which is getting nice and hot, I want to sear it, but I also don't want to smoke out the whole room. the whole studio. So if I can
yeah,
have that
there you go.
orange, thank you. So in my blueberry sauce, I'm going to use some of the juice, but on the actual fish, I'm going to use the rind of the orange. So we have this nice little microplane here.
I feel that there's more flavor in the rind of lemons and oranges than sometimes
totally.
the juice.
And there's more vitamins, actually. So all of the vitamin C and calcium is typically in the rind of the actual fruit. So if you get Tropicana orange juice and it's all watered down, which is what my kids like to drink, you're not getting as high of a vitamin C content as you would if they just chewed on an orange, which they would never do. But so I'm just putting a little bit of the orange rind right on top of the tuna steaks. And this is gonna help it give that acid flavor without having so much of the sauce on top. Okay, so then I also have a little bit of a rub. And you would think, like in barbecue, when you're making chicken, if you're making steak or you're making pork, you use a rub. You don't typically associate a rub with fish, but we're gonna use a little bit of a rub today. So the first thing, can I borrow this too? Thank you.
Sure.
All right, so the first thing, oh look, that looks so pretty, Vicki. I love how you did that with the lemon. You're so good at that. All right, we should do a quick cheers break. Cheers.
These little
Cheers,
mini
break.
glasses.
We're super fancy today. So the rub that I have pre-made has some really interesting ingredients. That's not the rub I have pre-made. The rub I have pre-made, the spices I have pre-made are actually for the blueberries. But what I'm going to just very easily is I'm using Mason's Market sea salt, which I love. Now it's a little bit of a coarser sea salt, but whenever I'm making fish, I always love to use coarse sea salt right on top of my fish. So look at that.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's a really good
We actually had the
size.
conversation that we hear about salt.
Yes, we did,
Yes.
because there is a lot of fake salt out there.
Yes.
The other thing I'm going to use, and this is going to amp up the flavor profile, is wasabi powder. So you want to be careful not to use too much, or else people are going to take a bite and be like, oh my God, you got wasabi-sized. But instead, I'm just going to kind of sprinkle it on there. Okay, and then I'm going to just rub in. But we should talk about the salt, because I didn't know this before I actually met the owners of Mason's Market, that there is real salt, which you can get from the Himalayas, like the Himalayan sea salt, the Himalayan salt, or you can get sea salt from the ocean, the fleur de sel. So I'm just going to take these and put them down like this. Oh yeah, listen to that sizzle, faux sizzle, my drizzle.
So you have to be careful with your salt intake, and to use like table salt that that's in the shaker, like at a restaurant or something, iodized salts. You can, first of all, it has it's a very distinctive taste, and
but it also so when you iodize salt, you strip natural salt of all of the
healthy properties,
healthy minerals. So I think there's something like 370 different minerals in salt, which is awesome. And those are vital minerals. But the thing that you really want to get, the benefit you want to get from real salt, is that it actually helps you hydrate, which is crazy. So instead of drinking Gatorade, if you wanted to, you could just take some orange juice, take a tablespoon or a teaspoon probably of some real Himalayan salt or sea salt, mix it up, add some water, and that would actually help you hydrate without all of the harmful dyes and added sugars and all that kind of stuff. So we're just going to kind of let this sear.
Are you going to?
I'm going to season the other side.
So when you watch when Lindsay seasons it, you will notice that she's using very coarse salt, and she doesn't use a lot of it.
Right.
You monitor
it's very salty.
Right. Well, you monitor your intake when you use a larger grain of salt. For example, a lot of chefs cook with kosher salt because it's a larger grain, and you generally will put it in a small vessel and sprinkle it from up high with your fingers. And the reason for that is because you can feel it with your fingertips, and you see it, and you don't use as much. Right. So therefore, your food is never it's seasoned well, but it doesn't taste salty, and you don't have the taste of the iodized table salt in your food. So it will highlight the natural flavors of the food without giving you like a tin.
Like it's like a tang in the back of your throat.
So it's a good thing to if you can move over to start with like a kosher salt to cook with, because it really will make a difference. So much so that you will notice that other foods will start to taste salty to you. You will lessen your salt intake just by that one small move. So that's a healthy move right there.
It's true. So if you have to have a low sodium diet,
get rid of table salt.
Just get rid of table salt, yeah, and get rid of the iodized salt, and just go over to real salt. But also beware, because there are some fake pink Himalayan salts out there. I won't say who makes them, but it's basically just just read your labels. It's basically just
so you'll see
white salt.
She didn't use a lot of salt. She didn't need to, because it's larger, coarser grains. You don't need a lot, and you get the flavor.
That smells so
really
good.
It does.
All right, so it's getting.
So this would be good on a grill too, obviously.
Yes. Oh, you should definitely do this on the grill. We don't have a grill in here though. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave that, because if you look you ain't cooking, right? So, all right, in here, I'm gonna turn this up slightly. I'm putting about 1.5 cups of blueberries into my pot. All right, and the mixture that I made, so there's a lot of crazy things in this one. There's some cinnamon, and I like Ceylon cinnamon with a C, Ceylon, cinnamon, because it actually has some great Ayurvedic properties as well. I have some nutmeg, some ground cloves, cayenne pepper, because I like a little bit of heat. And that's pretty much all that's going into my seasoning for my balsamic and blueberry sauce. And of course, some more of my sea salt, my pink Himalayan salt actually. This is not sea salt, just a little bit. A little bit goes a long way, as Vicki said. And then if you want to use whole peppercorns, or if you want to use the fresh cracked pepper, potentially if you're making both of these fish dishes and you've already pre-cracked some of those peppercorns, you can just use those in here. But this is about 2 teaspoons of black pepper.
I like
I'm going to put about yes.
The two-color peppercorns.
Oh, they're so pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pepperoncinis. All right, so then I'm going to take my balsamic vinegar. So you heard it hit the pan first, and I'm literally just taking it and putting it right in here. And then I'm going to go take that orange, I'm going to cut it in half, and I'm going to put the juice of half the orange in my sauce, bring it up to a boil, and it's going to reduce down so nicely. And then I have a secret ingredient that I'm going to put into the sauce. But you get this nice acid balance when you add the orange in. All right. Now I'm going to flip my tuna steaks while the sauce is turning on. Okay. There we go. So out on the grill, if you were outside, you'd be able to really get these nice and seared. But in a grill pan inside, it's a little bit harder. So this might be something that you want to make even in the fall. I love going outside and grilling and getting fresh air in the fall. If you have a grill pan that's non-stick like this, try to get it as hot as possible, because you really don't want that tuna to be too overcooked. You want it to be nice and seared.
So I'm just getting some.
You're getting ready for your fish?
Some lemons ready for garnish.
Cool.
And I'm just taking the seeds out, because you don't want to have.
You don't want to bite into a seed?
No, you don't want to
lemon seed?
You don't want to have seeds in your fish dish.
I'm gonna put this
that would be
over.
off-putting.
That would not be good.
Yeah.
So to plate my tuna, here you go, there's your wine.
Thank you.
To plate my tuna, I have dinosaur kale. So dinosaur kale is kind of tough to just eat. So you would never like take a big thing of dinosaur kale and just like chew on it. But it takes a lot of work to really break down the fibrous nature of kale. So instead, I'm using it as garnish. I'm using it as a nice pretty plate. And I'm just going to put my 2 tuna steaks right here, drizzle the blueberry sauce on top, and it's going to look absolutely beautiful. And I might steal some more of Vicki's fennel leaves. All right,
Happy
so this
to share.
Yeah, thank you. So this is getting cooking. You can see now I'm just going to put all of my ingredients together to ruminate, to marinate, to, they're just hanging out
So
here.
on the topic of fennel, this is the fish episode, but one of my favorite uses for fennel is sauteed fennel and onions with steak.
Ooh,
That
yum.
is a delicious
And what, you
side
just
dish.
put it right on top?
Yeah, just like when you have sauteed onions with steak, to have sauteed fennel and onions.
Yum.
It's delicious.
That sounds
It
amazing.
breaks down very nicely.
You gave me my best tip for steak, though. She grills the lemons and then puts grilled lemon juice on top of the
Also
steak.
a salt substitute.
Yes, it does,
yeah.
because it's got that great tang and that great acid.
The zest of a lemon will substitute a lot of your salt needs. Yes, that
All
looks
right.
amazing. It smells so good. Smells so good.
And you don't have to use wasabi powder. I really like wasabi powder. All right, so this one has some bitter grill marks, so I'm using this side.
So would you drizzle orange juice or like fresh orange juice on this? Or
You
no,
won't
you're
even
good
need it
the
when you
way
have
it
the
is?
blueberry sauce, yeah.
Oh, that's right. You have the sauce.
Yep.
Silly me.
Silly you. No, it's going to be really great. This is a great appetizer, super easy to make. I mean, we made that in 1, 2, 3, right? And then,
So I check the fish here.
yeah, let's get your fish out here too. Let's have a fish party. All right, here's my secret ingredient for the sauce. Now, I have used Mike's Hot Honey in pretty much everything. I'm almost out. I've got to go get another one. But adding a little bit of honey to any sauce that you're making
That's it for
gives it a
tonight.
nice natural sweetener. But of course, I like my spice. I'm going to kick it up a little bit with some Mike's Hot Honey. It's so good. All right, it's just got a little bit of heat, not too much, but the sweetness of the blueberries, look at that.
I love it.
It smells so good. And it's going to start to thicken up a little bit. Those blueberries are going to start to pop. So I'm just going to kind of leave it for a second while we open your fish.
Okay.
Here, do you want to bring it over here? I'll get rid of this hot plate. Ooh, it's sizzling over there. Oh my God, look at that.
Beautiful.
Oh, it even charred the lemons. That is just gorgeous. Helping hand.
So look at the juices there underneath.
That is so pretty.
Beautiful. So then to serve it, you would just add some fresh lemons on the side,
Yum.
just for some brightness. And then, where's my fennel?
My sauce is thickening up over here. So you want to bring it to a nice little simmer. And I'm even going to just take the back of my spoon and just pop it down a little bit to get those blueberries crushed up, because you really want to get that blueberry flavor in every bite of the tuna.
Oh my God, that smells so good.
So good, right? And it's
Smells
nice
so
because
good.
tuna is such like an oily, fatty, thick.
It smells.
It's so nice to
really-
have this
It's
amount
sweet
of acid.
with like just a little undertone of spice.
Totally.
I smell the cinnamon.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's good for the fall. It's a great fall
It's so
dish, but
nice.
really you can make it any time of year. And then I
So-
usually serve it over like a nice mixed green salad with just, you can even put orange juice, even some fennel would go great with it.
So I chopped up this little fennel, and I'm just going to take this just for brightness.
Ooh.
And I'm just going to put it right over the top.
Gorgeous.
And that's it. Now this here would be good over like a little bit of rice or couscous.
Ooh, some
or,
couscous with some lemon also?
Yeah,
or?
like couscous with, if you were to finally chop up some vegetables, like some carrots and peas or something really small,
Yum.
and put, because there's really, oh geez, are you okay?
Forgot it's hot.
some really nice juice
I was
under.
gonna try to put it over here.
Some really nice juice under the.
There you go.
So 1 fish, 2 fish.
And a fish on the
And,
side.
and one for good measure.
One for good measure, just an appetizer to get you started.
That
And then
looks so good.
I'm just going to ladle this sauce, which is really thickened up nicely.
Yeah. Yeah, no time at all.
Good thing I didn't wear my glasses. It'd be all foggy.
Ah.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's just goes right over the tuna, just
Lovely.
like that. I love a good tuna steak. You can do this also on swordfish. So one
Like you
quick.
can put that on anything.
I put it on chicken.
Chicken, yeah.
You could put it even on steak if you wanted to, or just tofu if you're into tofu. I can't do it, but because I can't do soy. But this is also, like, balsamic vinegar is a great replacement for soy-based sauces because it has a very similar tang and flavor without the soy. I just don't like the hormonal swings from eating too much soy. Getting up there, Vicky. So there you go. And then what I would do is I would probably just slice it up really nicely, even add a little bit more sauce, put it right over a beautiful salad. You could even eat it cold.
Yeah,
and
I would
slice
think
up
that
the
would be
tuna.
nice for a buffet even too. You could do
100%.
that for, to like, that could sit around for a while.
It could, yeah. You don't want it to cook too much with the sauce. Usually I let the sauce cool a little bit more.
Right, so let me ask you something. Since the sauce is hot, do you not cook it to full temperature? Does it keep cooking with the sauce?
It should be pretty rare still. You want to test
Right.
it? Should we test it? All right, let's test it. Give me your knife. All right, let me grab I think there's a fork in here I can grab. Yes, there is. Okay, so here, let's cut it right in the middle. Oh, yeah. Oh, and you see, it's perfectly seared.
Beautiful.
And if you get a really good ahi tuna, doing a terrible job of cutting this right now, but that is actually delicious. You want to try some?
I'm gonna,
Yeah.
I'm
gonna try a bite.
Training wheels fish for me. Well, thank you so much for joining us for One Fish, Two Fish. We look forward to seeing you again at the Healthy Dish
TV. I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Victoria. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again real soon.